Tyler Robinson, the man accused of killing political activist Charlie Kirk, will be able to appear in court in regular clothing instead of his jail attire. That's just one of the rulings the judge made in his case today, just in the last hour, actually. Joining me now in the studio to break it all down is KSL News Radio's Heather Peterson. Heather?
Maria, earlier this month, the defense team for Tyler Robinson filed a motion requesting he be allowed to appear in court in his regular clothes rather than a jail uniform and restraints for all pretrial hearings. Now, this would already be in the case in a trial, but the defense wanted to extend it to all pretrial hearings as well since it's so highly publicized. Judge Tony Graff explained the arguments before delivering his ruling today.
He argues that the extensive media coverage of this case creates a real risk of prejudice if the public and potential jurors repeatedly see him in jail attire. The state, the sheriff's department, and the court security director opposed the request, arguing that jail clothing assists with safety and identification. The court has balanced these competing concerns. The case has attracted extraordinary public and media attention. Images of Mr. Robinson in jail clothing are likely to circulate widely and influence prospective jurors. Given the scale of that publicity, the risk of prejudice is significant.
And KSL legal analyst Greg Skordas went a little more in depth on why this is important on Inside Sources earlier this month.
How can you defend somebody that has confessed to a crime? And first of all, we don't know what he's done, what he's said, and what he's confessed to. We do know that he's charged with a crime, and from the probable cause statement that Jeff Gray, the Utah County attorney, read, they have a very compelling case, I would say, a very good case. But he's entitled to a defense. He's entitled to the presumption of innocence. And today, under American law, he is, by law, presumed innocent, notwithstanding anything he said. And so it behooves his attorneys, especially since it's a death penalty case, to at least let the evidence sort itself out. They may very well plead him guilty, or jury may find him guilty, or maybe maybe they'll work something out in this case. But until the defense gets all the evidence and makes sure that if there was a confession that it was legal, if there was a search that was legal, if there was other things done that they were appropriate. I mean, I just so love the system we have in this country, but I also appreciate people who think, boy, we sure give a lot of deference to criminal defendants.
So Judge Graff granted the request today, meaning Robinson's defense team will be able to bring him fresh clothes before any future court appearances. But there was another request that was denied. Robinson's attorneys asked he also have his restraints like handcuffs and leg shackles removed for court proceedings.
He argues that visible restraints would prejudice potential jurors, undermine his dignity, and interfere with his ability to communicate with counsel. Rule 3-414 sub 9C of the Utah Rules of Judicial Administration requires that all in-custody defendants be restrained unless otherwise ordered by the court. The court recognizes that Mr. Robinson has no criminal history and no record of misconduct while in custody. However, the charges he faces are extraordinarily serious, carrying potential penalties of life imprisonment or death. The safety of Mr. Robinson, the attorneys, court staff, and the public must remain the court's highest priority. The emotional nature of these proceedings also raise the risk of disruption. Given these factors, the defendant's request to appear without restraints is denied.
But Judge Graff asked that his restraints be as minimal and concealed as possible so it doesn't prejudice a potential jury. He also issued an order for the media to make sure Robinson isn't recorded or photographed in restraints going forward. Another issue on the docket was about whether Robinson should appear virtually from jail or in person for non-critical hearings. The judge said more discussion is needed before he makes a ruling on that case.
So, Heather, what's next in the case?
So they scheduled him next for January 16th at 1 p.m., and Robinson will be present for that hearing until a decision is made about the virtual hearings.
All right. Thanks, Heather.